Latching is the process whereby a device controls itself or controls another device, and we get two types when it comes to PLCs. The first type is a retainer or a retaining contact. In this process, on the PLC program, we will have our ladder diagram, and we will have, for example, let's say that's an overload, that's a stop, and that's my start. My output is then connected to the start button, because remember, in real life the overload and the stop, those are normally closed contacts. The start is a normally open contact, and that one also says it's the same state as Q. So what happens is, as those two are closed in real life, when I close the start button, Q will activate. So that activation will then close, in essence, that retaining contact. That retaining contact will then keep Q on. Q will then also be used as an output device or a switch that controls the output device. The second type of latching that we get is called interlocking. Okay, when we're looking at interlocking, we've got the same process, but now we're going to look at a scenario whereby we've got a situation where that's Q1 and this is Q2. And we've got a normally closed contact over there, which is controlled by Q2, and we've got this normally closed over here, which is controlled by Q1. Now I can have the same retaining contact concept occur on these start buttons that are linked to their corresponding Qs, but with the interlocking, what we're focusing on is the concept whereby, as this is off, that is closed, the overload and the stop are closed, and when I press the start button, I will now activate Q1. When Q1 activates, it will go on to control this Q and cause it to be open, so that I cannot press start 2 and activate Q2, because this Q1 normally closed interlock will stop Q2 from becoming active. And the same applies in the reverse direction, or in the opposite direction, where Q2 output controls this interlock, so that I cannot have Q1 and Q2 active at the same time. This is specifically used for complex systems where motor switches from one state to another, and by applying interlocking I am forcing an inability for those two motors to actually operate in both conditions at the same time. Consider a forward or reverse starter or an up and down elevator. We do not want, the elevator can only go up or down, it cannot do both at the same time. So that's where we would apply interlocking in practice. When you're running a Logosoft program, in order to download a program from the computer onto the PLC, you must just click that button over there. If you want to upload from the PLC to the computer, you're going to click that button over there. Before that can happen, however, you must ensure that the PLC is connected to the PC via the interface cable. You must also ensure that you have selected the correct PLC. From the select hardware, you can then go and select which PLC you choose to use, and that can then be uploaded for later use.